While airports can sometimes be confusing, they are almost always functional enough to operate regular aircraft movements. But in Germany, there is an airport that has so many issues that the government is considering shutting it down. Brandenburg Airport was designed in 2002 and slated to begin construction in 2006. It was supposed to be ready to open in 2011, and yet it didn't open its doors until 9 years later in October of 2020. The troubles began from the very beginning. The architect chosen to design the airport absolutely hated shopping. To him, the idea of airport duty-free represented a waste of space, time, and money. But what no one involved in the project realised until years into the project was that, believe it or not, duty-free shopping is what helps pay the bills. So 9 months into the airport's development, new architects had to completely reshape the floor plan to fit in more shopping and hospitality to act as a revenue buffer for the new airport. It was at this point that city planning officials also realised that the airport's design was already too small for a rocketing European air travel market. So they ordered a complete overhaul of the plans, asking for 65% more space. The only problem? The site that they had chosen for the airport had absolutely no room for expansion or growth. It was limited by agriculture and housing in every direction. And then there's also the fact that all of the core infrastructure and footings of the original designs were already built, meaning that any changes would require brand new existing works and would already have to be torn down and restarted. Then in 2011, months before the airport was due to open at its new larger scale, an external review of the airport's safety infrastructure found that while the plans for the airport had been upscaled, the fire and emergency infrastructure had not been upgraded with it. All in all, the review concluded by deciding that the airport had a readiness factor of a measly 56%, stating that the airport was one of the most unsafe and unprepared that the review team had ever seen. Now, as normal human beings, you and I would take that advice on board and delay the opening that was due to happen months later. As it happens, German government officials aren't normal human beings. They were so focused on the big opening day party that was planned that they decided to draft a plan to staff every single emergency exit or fire safety point in the airport with at least one person, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. That's right, in order to avoid cancelling an opening party, they plan to employ in excess of 4,500 staff to stand and operate every single door in the airport. It took literally one single politician from regional Germany to realise just how ridiculous and nonsensical the idea was for German officials' whole grand plan to come to a screeching halt. The party was off and the opening was delayed for further works to be completed. Follow for part 2.